Hey there, guys. We're going to be going for yet another Vestige of Ethne rank 1 clear. Now, this time, we're finally not going to use the light element. We're going to go with the dark party. So for those of you that keep saying, what if I don't have Return Fina? Or what if I don't have Flaring Rain? We're not going to use those two. We're also not even going to use Richt. So this is the party that we're going to use. We're going to use Darkness, and we're going to use Melissa even, because we're going to just work around the fact that Melissa auto re-raises the party. So this is the team we're going to go with. We're going to go with Elena for the leader skill, 2B for damage, Ibarra for killers and damage, and then Dwayne and Nora for really good buffing and damage. And then Melissa is going to be our dark support. So let's get in here and give it a go. Turn chart will be in the comments, and we're going to have the gear shown at the end, the usual stuff. Okay, so the ambush. Now, because Melissa auto-casted a permanent re-raise on the party, we have to kill our entire party to deal with that. And this is how we're going to do it. We're going to start off building morale on turn 1, but we're not going to use any buffs. We're going to start Elena in the shift form. We do not want her to auto cover, so start her in the shift form, then go to the base form, and we're going to do in Blazega for the morale gain, and then break with bolting and absolute mirror of equity. Ibarra is going to use morale filled stuff, so we're going to imbue darkness within Dartga. Then we're going to do Wish of Vengeance and then hit the boss. Don't use her good cooldowns yet. Nora is going to use quad. We're going to do living for 2 for the morale gain and then triple bolting. Dwayne is just going to hit the boss 3 times. Doesn't really matter. 2B in the shift form is going to use both of her killer things and then avoid for the morale gain. Wait for all this to finish. Now we're going to use Melissa wearing Ring of Luci with dual cast materia and geared for killers. We're going to dual cast Alterna on our own party. So the issue with this party is literally every single person on this party has natural guts in their kit. Some of them have multiple guts, and some of them have 3 to 4 times guts, but we have to have everyone die on turn 1. So, Ibarra, 2B, and Melissa only have a single source of guts in their kit. They're going to get hit once with Alterna, guts, get hit with the second Alterna, die and re-raise. The Dwayne and Nora have a double stack of guts. They're going to guts both the Alternas. Then Elena has a 4 stack of guts. So she's going to take the first 2 Alternas and guts. Then the boss's turn is going to happen. The boss is going to use an AoE ice magic that we are not covering. That's going to hit the entire party. That's going to finish off Dwayne and Nora for their second stack of guts. They're going to re-raise. Melissa, 2B, and Ibarra will guts again, but they're still going to survive. And then the single target attacks will then hit Elena a bunch of times, finish her off. She's going to re-raise. And we've started this fight with everyone having no re-raise starting on turn 2. So here we go. I'll turn our own party. Yeah, the big headache we got to deal with this dumb, stupid design. But there it is. So now the boss is going to AoE ice, kill everyone, then some single target on Elena. And boom, there it is. The whole party has re-raised at least once. We're all starting turn 2 alive, etc. And because we're using Melissa, the morale problem for doing that is not even really a problem. Now we're going to start getting ready to deal, or start the fight for real. So Melissa is going to do Chronic Flow to get the morale going. We're going to Curse Control for the Dark Imbue, and we're going to Shelga. Elena, in the base form, is going to cover Sanctuary, and then we're going to use her field, Crystal Echo. 2B in the shift forms, go ahead and Brave Shift. We're going to do Human Killer 3 times. Ibarra is now going to do the buffs. So she's going to do a Noon for the Dark Imperil, and then both the killers. Nora is going to... Okay, Nora and Dwayne are going to use their LB for the Weapon Imperils. So we go ahead and chain Nora and Dwayne, and then send 2B in there. The boss has mitigation, so I don't really worry about all that. So our big burst is going to be on turn turn 9 in this clear, by the way. Anyway, so there's some attacks on Elena. We're still not fully buffed up because of the turn 1 stuff, but we're totally fine, though. Okay, so we're going to start the Ramping Amplify on Melissa this turn. Because we're going to be doing a big burst on turn 5. Not the biggest, but we're going to be doing a burst on... Actually, turn 5 is going to be the biggest burst. I lied. You'll see. So, Abyssal Blessing for the Ramping Amplify. We're going to do Minutes of Might. And we're going to do Human Killer on 2B. We're going to do the SLB of Dwayne and Nora. That's a modifier buff for the party from Nora, which is very convenient. Ibarra, base form LB. Elena, base form LB. And Shift form LB of 2B. We go ahead and do the attack and magic buff. And we'll go ahead and chain this up a little bit. Doesn't quite perfectly chain, but it's fine. Yeah, the big damage is going to be on turn 5. And we're going to do a lot of damage on turn 5. Hopefully we get a high variance roll so we can show off a little bit. But we're going to definitely damage cap on turn 5. That's all that really matters. Some more attacks on Elena. A little bit painful. Not a big deal. Now we're going to go ahead and use the SLB of Melissa. And that'll finally heal up the party. Okay, so Melissa is going to SLB and target herself. That is going to get her seconds to support ready for next turn. Elena on this turn is going to go to the shift form. We're going to get setting up for a big burst. In the shift form, we're going to Absolute Mirror, Bolting, and then Grace of Procyon. Ibarra is going to shift here. We're going all in for the burst on this turn. So we're going to do Absolute Mirror, Bolting, and then we're going to use her Magnus Tsukio. 2B in this turn is going to do True Charge. We're going to do Supreme Weapon for the 150 Amplify for Light. And then Human Killer. Let's see. Nora is going to Quad. We're going to triple Bolting. And then we're going to Magnus as the last action. Dwayne is going to Arcane Supplementation and then double Bolting. And look at my turn chart, make sure everything looks correct. It does look good. Yep. So let's go ahead and deal a little bit of buffing and go ahead and chain this up a little bit. And next turn will be our big burst. We're going to hit pretty hard next turn. Okay. Some attacks, no big deal. So we've got Nora's modifier buff for the entire party. Now we're going to get Melissa's modifier buff for 2B, who double dips on it. So 2B to the base form, Ibarra to the shift form, and LB. We're going to LB Nora, LB Dwayne. We're going to have Elena do the shifted LB. Melissa is now going to do seconds of support on 2B. That's going to give her a modifier buff. We're going to bigger Human Killer on 2B. And then we can just do shared immunity. Okay, let's go ahead and do the Defense and Spirit, and then the Attack and Magic, and here we go. So we are going to chain the back row first. Wait, oh, and then 2B's LB. Chain the back row first, then we're going to click Elena a moment later, and then we're going to click 2B. So chain the back row, wait, click Elena, click 2B. And just for funsies, let's look at Ibarra's 25,175 magic with focus. Nora's a little bit less. Dwayne's at 22. Can't click on Nora. There it is, Nora. Oh my god, Nora. Nora is at 23,000 magic. Kind of hilarious. Anyway, this is our damage cap turn. And we did 4.7 billion damage. 4.7 billion on turn 5. And we're not even using Richt. We're not even using the right element. We're using freaking darkness. So that's fun. Anyway, that pushed the threshold, obviously, when you deal that much damage. And we're going to continue the fight now. So Dwayne is going to SLB. Nora is going to SLB. Look at my turn chart. We're going to do, with Melissa, we're going to do Minutes of Might again. We're going to do Curse Control. And we're going to do Human Killer on Dwayne. Wait, why are we doing it on Dwayne? Oh, yeah, because no one else really matters this turn. Okay, I was kind of wondering. Yeah, it's fine. So turn 6. Turn 6, we're going to do triple bolting on Ibarra to fill her LB gauge. Don't use the focus. Let's see. 2B is going to R40 3 times. The boss has mitigation this turn anyway, so it's like really nothing matters. We're going to do with Elena, we're going to cover, absolute mirror of equity, and bolting strike. We'll go ahead and do this first. We can do this, and we will chain these two. But again, the boss has mitigation, so nothing really matters here. We're like baby touching the bosses. It's fine. Okay, so turn 6. Now we're going to turn 7. There was no physical that turn, so it didn't really matter. Okay, this turn, we're going to use Melissa to SLB on Dwayne. That's going to start getting his arcane supplementation ready for another big, strong, powerful buff. So we're going to SLB and target Dwayne. We're going to use Melissa. I'm sorry. What's her name? Nora to quad. We're going to triple bolting. And we're going to use the field just to get rid of the boss's field. Not that it really matters that much. Dwayne is going to just triple bolting strike. We need Ibarra this turn to refresh the buffs and all. So we're going to do both the killers and then a noon for the Dark Imperil. 2B on this turn. Now we're not going to use her LB yet because the phase 2 is a little awkward for this party. We're kind of like going to slow it down a little bit. We're going to double human and avoid for the Mirage. And then Elena in the base form is going to do absolute mirror of equity and double bolting. Now because we're not chaining anyone absolute mirror of equity, we'll just do this first. And there we go. And we can just do this. And chain this up a little bit. The boss still has mitigation this turn anyway, so really not that much matters. Anyway, there we go. So here comes some physical attacks. We're going to double Mirage them with 2B. Although we got 4 Mirage, actually, so we're good for the next AoE physical as well. So turn 8. We are going to wait for all this to finish. Okay. We are going to do, in the shift form, we're going to triple bolting with Ibarra. We're going to limit these two up here. We're going to triple human killer 2B, and the reason we're doing this is so that we can have our turns lined up properly. We are going to, with Elena, we're going to prepare for the threshold. So we're going to Sanctuary, cover, and resistance buff so that we're ready for the threshold. Melissa is going to do shared, human killer on Dwayne, and we're going to just do Shelga. Okay, we can attack and magic, and we go ahead and chain all this up. A little bit of damage here. Not a ton of damage. Yeah, the next big burst is going to be on turn 11 as we push into phase 3. Okay, some attacks, kind of whatever. Okay, so we still have 2 stacks of Mirage remaining from 2B this turn, so we don't need to worry about the physical coming in this round. We're going to LB, base LB Elena. We're going to SLB our SLB units. We're going to base form LB our 2B. I'm sorry, our Ibarra. We're going to shifted LB our 2B, and we're going to use with Melissa on this turn. We're going to do our second 100 Dark Amp ramping up. We're going to Human Killer on 2B, and we're going to Shared Immunity. Alright, we can go ahead and Defense and Spirit buff. We can Attack and Magic buff. And chain this up. It's not going to chain super well. This turn is, again, not that big of a damage turn. Like I said, turn 11 is going to be our next big burst. But it's fine. We're at 50%. Whatever. Okay. And some more attacks. We double Mirage these straight to the grave. Alright, turn 10. So now we're going to SLB Melissa again. So we're going to be pushing the threshold on turn 11. Melissa's SLB, keep in mind, does put AoE re-raise on the party, but it's only for 3 turns. So by doing it on this turn, it'll be gone by the zombie turn. So we're going to target Dwayne again. You see this long-ass cooldown, Arcane Supplementation? But now we're going to do this, and now Dwayne's Supplementation is ready to go again for another big burst. So we're going to Supplementation, and then double bolting. We're going to just quad bolting with Melissa. The last one won't chain because no one's quadding, but whatever. Ibarra is going to go to the shift form, and we're going to, let's see here, double bolting and focus. Base form with 2B, where we do triple bolting. Elena's going to shift here. we're going to do Bolting, Beetle, and Grace. So Bolting, Beetle, and Grace as we get ready for a big burst next turn. Go ahead and do this. And let's click Dwayne first, click the rest. And here we go. Okay, this turn is just some whatever stuff, Elemental Surge, no one cares, super weak. Okay, now this would be a physical turn, but we're going to push the threshold and therefore not have a physical turn. So here comes the next big burst. Before we get this going, let's have Melissa do the buffs. So base form LB of 2B, we're going to shifted LB of Elena. Oh, and Ibarra actually. Shifted LB of Ibarra, LB of the 2 SLB units, and then Nora is going to Minutes of Might. We're going to Curse Control, and we're going to Seconds of Support again on 2B, because she double dips. It's very nice. Plus, she's double dipping on Nora's modifier buff as well. Let's go ahead and do some defense and spirit buffs. And again, we're going to chain the back row first. Wait a second, click Elena. Wait a second, click 2B. So back row, wait just a moment, click Elena, click 2B. And there we go. And that should push the next phase. And out of curiosity, we also did a 3.7 on that turn. Of course, we didn't have the 150 amplifies and all that. But there it is. There's the threshold covered by Elena because of the stuff we did on turn 8. We were ready for it. Okay, now we're in the last phase. So what we're going to do, because the boss is going to be doing physical damage every single turn, and I don't want to waste all my actions using Mirage with like Ibarra and all that, we're going to have Melissa just like absorb the entirety of phase 3. We're gonna go with 4 turns of Dark Absorb. So let's go ahead and do the SLB of our SLB units. Ibarra is going to go to the base form. We do have to do buffs, of course, to rebuff turn. The boss has the mitigation anyway. So we're going to do both the killers and then a noon. We got to do a noon because that is our only good Dark Imperil. 2B is going to do R40 times. We're going to have Elena on this turn go to the base form, and we'll do absolute and double bolting to do breaks. Melissa on this turn is going to do human killer on 2B. We're going to do uncontrollable darkness this turn. That's a 1-turn dark imbue. Don't do parasol shield, by the way. That'll get you killed. Don't do all consuming yet. We'll just do on this turn. Doesn't really matter. Bar Darkja. Who cares? And we'll click 2B. Like I said, the boss has mitigation this turn, so not a whole lot going on. And the boss has mitigation again next turn as well. So here's the AoE physical. We're not Mirage. Well, we had Mirage left over, so fine. But we absorbed it anyway. Turn 13. So now we are going to use Melissa to do... Remember, don't use her SLB in phase 3. It puts AoE re-raise for 3 turns, and you will die. Because this turn is going to be zombie. So we're going to all-consuming darkness for 3 turns of physical immunity. We're going to human killer on Dwayne. And we're going to... Nothing else really matters. We can just bar Darkja, because who cares? Okay, Dwayne is now going to do triple bolting. Nora can quad bolting, and again, the last one won't really chain, but nothing else to cast with her skills. Ibarra is going to go to the shift form, and we're going to bolting twice and focus. So bolting twice and focus. 2B is going to do her shifted LB for the mod buff. And Elena in the shift form will do bolting 3 times. Yeah. Okay, we can attack and magic. And here we go. Should go ahead and chain this up. And again, the boss has a mitigation this turn. The mitigation goes away next turn, and we can get out of this phase. So we've got 3 turns of Dark Absorb. So all this physical stuff, we just don't really care. Like, big whoop. No one cares. No one cares. Now, we are zombied, though, and we're still absorbing darkness, which would obviously be a bad combination. But Melissa's normal attack, amusingly enough, is a zombie cure. So we're going to normal attack Melissa. There goes the zombie. No more zombie. We can now use healing and all that. Not that we need it. So now we're going to do the shifted LB of Elena. We're going to R40, R2B for the power-ups. And you see what I'm saying? We don't have to worry about like Mirage or anything like that. Isn't that nice? We're going to base form LB Ibarra, and then we're going to LB our SLB units. We'll go ahead and do some defense and spirit, attack and magic, and we'll go ahead and chain this up. Deal a little bit of damage here. We don't have the good amplify anymore. I don't even think we have minutes of might right now, so this is not going to be a great damage turn, even though we are all bursting. Yeah, we didn't have all our buffs right now, but it's fine. We used the buffs in phase 1 and 2 to speed up the fight a little bit. So again, here's a ton of physical damage. Really don't care. You know, 450,000 damage on Elena. Let her absorb it. There's the gravity attack. Whatever. All right, so let's see. What are we on? Turn 15. Turn 15 is my turn chart. We're still absorbing darkness, so you know we just keep going. Still absorbing darkness. So go there, go there. Let's go to the shift form with Ibarra, where we're going to do absolute mirror and double bolting. Elena is going to do absolute bolting and then Beetlejuice. 2B is going to do the base form LB. And we're going to do, I think Minutes of Might is still not ready. So irritating. So we're just going to do, for morale, we'll do in Darkja. We're going to do Human Killer on 2B. And really not a whole lot to cast this turn. So we'll just do Shelga, Bar Darkja, whatever. It doesn't matter. So do all this. Attack and magic. And chain it up. And we're probably going to kill the boss on turn 16. If not, we keep going to turn 17. It's not a problem. So this is yet another turn we are still absorbing darkness. So again, physical damage, don't care. Thank you, Melissa. Yep, we're just absorbing it. Whatever, don't care. Don't care. All right, turn 16. Finally, Minutes of Might is ready again on Melissa. So we can get some good LB damage buffs. So Melissa will Minutes of Might, will Curse Control, and we'll do a Human Killer on Dwayne. So Dwayne on this turn is going to triple bolting. We quad bolting with Nora. Ibarra is going to shift at LB. 2B is going to triple. Okay, so this turn we do need Mirage. We don't have any more stacks of absorption, so we're going to double human and then avoid with 2B just in case we don't kill the boss. We might kill the boss, but probably not. And we're going to LB Elena. So we'll go ahead and do this. And do this. Yeah, this is mostly a setup turn. Next turn will be the bursting with the SLB bursters. But again, we might kill the boss this turn. But again, even if we don't, we did actually. So we had Mirage. And the turn chart will go into a turn 17. So if we didn't kill the boss that round, turn 17, we do seconds of support on 2B with Melissa, and that would fill her LB. Then 2B would base LB. We do the powered up LB from Nora and Dwayne. We would have Ibarra rebuff the killers that turn and the Imperil, and then Elena would just support chain. So there's a perfect score. No Richt, no Light Element, no Return Fina, no Flaring Rain. Wait, I said no Elena. No, I meant no Richt, no Flaring Rain. We are using Elena, obviously. No Fina. That's what I meant. No Return Fina. But here's the damage breakdown. 2B and Ibarra, pretty consistent damage here. Ibarra does give herself 250 Fairy Killer, which is why she's, you know, a little higher than the rest. But she's a really good damage anyway. And yeah, there it is. Also, Ibarra had a permanent 60% Dark Amp. But yeah, and then Dwayne and Nora did some damage, and the game hates me. I still can't get my green tickets. And let's go ahead and show the gear for that party. So again, not a cheap team or anything, but effective. And by the way, Melissa can be EX2. EX2 would work. I'm looking at my turn chart, and she is using multiple SLBs in a row in Phase 2. You could reorder that and change things around. I'm not going to do it because I'm lazy. But if you really needed to make an EX2 Melissa work, you can. You would just have to stagger the SLB. We didn't do the first SLB until turn 4. And then just stagger the ones in Phase 2. It would have been totally fine. Anyway, here's the party. Espers don't matter because no one's doing an Esper field. Melissa is not provoking, but she is using the Celestite Rod for morale gain, her own card for morale gain, dual cast, and the Ring of, this is kind of funny, dual cast, Ring of the Luci, and then some magical killers, magical human and machine killers, so that we can all turn our own party on turn 1. So goofy, so goofy. Nothing else matters. The whole party is paralyzed immune, though, from gear. Elena, in the base form, all that matters is that she has 200 ice resist. Nothing else really matters. Oh, death immunity, and she's passive provoking. And she's getting another stack of guts, by the way, from this vision card. Yeah, another stack. That's why she has 4 guts. She has 3 guts naturally, and a 4th guts from the vision card, and that's why it all works out right here. Other than that, a little bit of LB fill, passive provoke, death immunity, like I said, some mana reduction. Shift form is 200 ice resist, paralyze immune, death immune, and a little bit of killers that we could fit. We couldn't fit all the killers because of all the requirements. Maxed LB, 275 human demon, and only 200 fairy. But there it is. Light resist does not matter whatsoever for her. 2B in both forms are 17,000 attack power, some mana regen, some LB fill, and there it is. Shift form identical. And I think she's maxed on everything. Max, she is. And she's paralyzed immune. I think she's getting paralyzed immune from an Esper. I forgot what Esper she's on, but it's probably giving her paralyzed immune. It's coming from something. She might have it naturally. I don't know. Dwayne, paralyzed immune. I think he's from an... Oh, he's getting paralyzed immune from Brother's Sentiments, yeah. True dual wield and paralyzed immune. It's convenient. But anyway, there's his build. No one in the party needs any kind of resistances, by the way, except for Elena. So there it is. LB damage versus humans and demons. We're using actually a good card this time. So max LB damage, max humans, max demon. Yeah, maxed on literally everything. 17.6 attack power. Nora is, I think, maxed on everything as well. Maxed. She is, yep, she is maxed. Paralyzed immune. I think she's paralyzed immune naturally. There we go. A little bit of chain speed, her own card. Ibarra, 17.6 attack power. I think she's paralyzed immune naturally as well. We gave her all the best clash gear. There is the setup. And there you go, her own card. And she is maxed on everything. And then that's Melissa. Okay, turn chart will be in the comments. As far as the comments, I can already see what's going to happen is, what if I don't have EX3, Nora, and Dwayne? You could probably swap one of them out, honestly, for like A2 or something. Dwayne is providing a arcane supplementation. That's the overcap stat buff and LB buff. It goes over the cap. And then Nora is providing modifier buff for the entire party. So for this party specifically, I'd say Nora is more important than Dwayne even. So if you're only going to drop one of them, drop Nora. I'm sorry, drop Dwayne. And then keep Nora, because Nora's giving modifier buffs to everybody, and that's a really big deal. But if you don't have her, it's still probably... I mean, we did 4.7 billion damage. 4.7 billion damage. And then in phase 3, we have Melissa to cure zombies, so we can go as long as you want. So if you don't have as good of a damage, you're fine. We did 4.7 though. I mean, give me a break. Anyway, see you in a bit.